Football's ultimate defender, making Messi run scared. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 111, The Plan to Demolish the Broken House. Blitz the bullfighting national team, the fastest goal in World Cup history, June 16. The first round of the group stage match between Portugal and bullfighting country, which has attracted great attention due to the huge public opinion caused by Costa, has arrived. The opening match between the two sides has finally arrived. At 6 o'clock in the evening of the same day. Facing the not-so-hot temperature. The players of both sides boarded their buses one after another. Headed to the venue of this game, the Genrent Olympic Stadium. After the bus arrived at the stadium, I saw many fans holding the Portugal flag in their hands, cheering for their own team. Shouting Ronaldo, Chen Mo's name over and over again. Facing the strong enemy bullfighting country in the first game, the fans all hope that the team can show a good performance and give bullfighting country a good beating. Teach Costa, that big mouth, a good lesson. Amid another round of shouting, the whole team entered the locker room of the stadium. No one accepted media interviews. The old coach Santos was even more gloomy, walking through the passage in a very serious manner, without even looking at the media. He read all the articles in the bullfighting country media. Those guys were madly belittling their own fruit teeth. They said that even though the bullfighting country is now weak and not as strong as it was in its heyday, it can still crush fruit teeth. They even made comments in support of Costa. They said that even with Chen Mo, Ronaldo's fruit teeth is still old and broken. It's like a dilapidated house that is about to collapse. It looks smooth and beautiful on the surface, full of star flavor. But it only takes a light kick from the bullfighting country. The house will collapse immediately. The gorgeousness on the surface will break with a poke. And the trash talk that Costa said. Your Chen Mo is a little lamb, and you still want to increase the strength of your big baby? You want to hire a psychologist for Chen Mo to help him recover his mentality after being kicked. You even called your own Ronaldo a fool. The old coach was furious. You bullfighting country is a broken house. You Costa is a weakling fool. The old coach Santos was very unhappy. He was in a very bad mood. Although old Sang-Tu is old, his temper has not become calmer with age. His temper is still as violent as that of young people, and he will explode at any touch. The players went to the locker room. Old Sang-Tu went directly to the pre-match press conference with a face full of expression. To be honest, there are many young talents in the fruit teeth now. There are many talented frontcourt players in the team, and the backcourt players are stable in defense. On the contrary, what about the bullfighting country? The World Cup champion lineup in 2010 has retired, left, and the old ones are old. They are more like the dangerous buildings in their media. Old broken houses. They will fall apart if touched. When facing strong teams such as the Samba team, the Gaul team, and the Chariot team, old Sang-Tu may still be vague and guilty. But facing the bullfighting country team, old Sang-Tu still said that I have guns and cannons in my hands, who am I afraid of? The bullfighting country team is nothing. With this mentality of contempt for the opponent, Tuatu quickly entered the pre-match press conference. All the reporters were in place. But old Sang found that the unknown rookie Hierro, who was the interim head coach of the bullfighting national team, was not there. Old Sang, who had been suppressing his temper, was about to lose it. As a young rookie interim head coach, shouldn't you show respect to me, the European Cup champion coach, and come to the scene in advance to wait for me? Do you understand the value of a champion coach? You actually let the European Cup champion coach come to the scene one step ahead to wait for you, a young man? You are so arrogant. Old Sang was very unhappy. His face became more serious and gloomy. After about a few minutes, the head coach of the bullfighting national team, Hierro, finally arrived. He trotted into the press conference venue. Seeing that Santos had arrived, he gave a fake smile and nodded. But the old Santos, who was furious, ignored him and didn't give him any face. Seeing that the old Santos didn't give him face, Hierro immediately put away his fake smile and looked more serious. Even his eyes were sharp. It's just because of Cristiano Ronaldo, and good luck, that he won the European Cup. What qualifications do you have to act like a champion coach? Hierro cursed in his heart. He pulled out the chair in front of the table and sat down. All this was keenly captured by the reporters gathered off the court. The game hasn't started yet. But from the confrontation between the two head coaches, it can be felt that there is a smell of gunpowder in the air. It seems that there will be some big news at the pre-match press conference. Hello, Coach Hierro. What do you think of the first opponent of the science and technology team in the group stage? Do you have the confidence to lead the bullfighting team to win the first game of this World Cup? As soon as the question came out, All the reporters gave the reporter who asked the question a thumbs up in their hearts. Beautiful provocation. That's what we have to do. It's better to let them fight. Fruit Teeth is a good team. But it can't be regarded as a traditional strong team with history in Europe. Fruit Teeth now looks star-studded, with big stars like Cristiano Ronaldo and Chen Mo. But football has never been a one-man sport. The bullfighting team has won the World Cup, and the best result of Fruit Teeth in history is only the third place in ancient times. They have no experience in going further in recent World Cups. From this point of view, our bullfighting team has more advantages. Although I am only a temporary coach, I believe that the experience of the team players can help us win. I am confident that we can win the first game. The reporters who heard this answer became more excited. In front of others, he said he could get off to a good start. There is no experience of going further. The third place in ancient times. It's just short of slapping the old man in the face, pointing at the old man's nose and saying, "You can't do it, I can do it at will." Look at the old man's already livid face, and his eyes that want to eat people. Big news is coming. Sure enough. After facing the questions asked by the media, the old man immediately showed the attitude of holding Chen Mo Ronaldo, who is invincible in the world. Victory in the first round of the group stage? This is not a problem that Fruit Teeth should study and consider at present. We have to calculate whether we get the first or the second place in the group, so that we can be more advantageous to Fruit Teeth in the round of 16. The opponents in the group stage are not too strong. We have enough room for operation. The pre-match press conference ended. Yarrow left with a dark face. I thought that with the identity of the head coach of the bullfighting national team, he could suppress Santos, the old B*******************. As a result, the old man taught him a hard lesson. Let him understand what arrogant contempt means. Santos strode back to the locker room with his head held high. The bullfighting team is no longer the champion lineup it once was. It's just a group of old, weak and disabled people. The tactics are simple. Give the damn ball to Mo, let him organize the pass. See Ronaldo, I want you to seize every opportunity. Get all the damn balls into the goal of the bullfighting team. I'm going to say this today. I have only one goal for this game, to tear down the dilapidated old house of the bullfighting team. The old man doesn't care about anything else. Let the players play by themselves, the purpose is to tear down the house. Tactics? It's a plan to tear down the dilapidated house. The locker room of the bullfighting team. Hierro felt humiliated. He was also giving crazy orders to the players. We have reached the peak. Even if it is going down the mountain, the god who goes down the mountain is still a god. That old B****************** D from Fruit Teeth actually doesn't take God seriously, so he has to bleed. Don't worry about anything else. Use the way we are best at. Pass and control. Keep passing and controlling. Cut the formation of Fruit Teeth apart completely, and then pass the damn football into their goal. Costa. I want you to show the end of the beast and your villain side. Teach the so-called Fruit Teeth genius a lesson. Let them know that geniuses can also be trampled under the feet of powerful bullfighting bulls. TV1. TV1. Here, it is the sports channel of TV Station 1. The game that will be live broadcasted for you is the focus of the World Cup group stage, the game of the bullfighting country. I am the commentator of this game, He Wei. I am your old friend Huang Jianxiong. This game will be live broadcasted by the two of us at the Fished Olympic Stadium in the Tsarist Kingdom. The players of both teams entered the field. The captains of both teams exchanged their team badges, received the ball on their sides, and the two teams entered the handshake phase. Before the game, the bullfighting country player Costa's speech in an interview caused a huge public opinion. See Ronaldo, Chen Mo, both of them responded forcefully. It can be seen from this. The players of both teams are full of gunpowder. The whole team of Fruit Teeth, starting with captain Cristiano Ronaldo, everyone refused to shake hands with Costa. This is another strong response to Costa's insulting and provocative remarks. The two teams came to their respective half-courts and stood still. The battle is about to start. Let me introduce the starting lineup of this game to everyone in the first game. Fruit Teeth played the same 4,231 starting lineup as the previous warm-up match against the Billis team. Goalkeeper, Patricio. Defenders, Cedric, Pepe, Jose Font, Guerrero. Defensive midfielder, Moutinho, Carvalho. Attack midfielder, Bernardo Silva, Chen Mo, Bruno Fernandes. Center forward, Cristiano Ronaldo. Chen Mo was still placed in the attacking midfielder position. But from the details of the warm-up match, it can be seen that Chen Mo has a wide range of activities in the middle of the fruit teeth. He can retreat at any time and play back as a defensive midfielder. He can also make arrangements in the front midfield, or even switch positions with B Silva and B Fee at any time, pull forward to break through, and provide unlimited supply of ammunition for Ronaldo in the front court. On the other hand, the young coach of the bullfighting national team, Hierro, also set up an offensive formation of 4,231. Goalkeeper, De Gea. Defenders, Alba, Ramos, Pique, Nacho. Defensive midfielder, Busquets, Coke. Attack midfielder, Iniesta, Isco, David Silva. Center forward, Costa. The referee looked at the watch. Time is up. Del. A sharp whistle sounded. The whole stadium suddenly rang with cheers from the fans. The game started in this warm atmosphere. First, the ball was in the possession of Fruit Teeth. Ronaldo turned and kicked the ball to Chen Mo behind him. Chen Mo took a step forward to receive the ball, and at the same time, he raised his arms and made a gesture of attacking forward. At this moment, Chen Mo was like a commander. With a big wave of his hand, all the players of Fruit Teeth, including Ronaldo, all charged forward like the Iron Cavalry under Chen Mo. The bullfighting national team also started to press forward. They didn't care about the Fruit Teeth players who were advancing, but started to press forward in formation. With Costa as the single arrow, they rushed towards Chen Mo, who was shooting the ball. Especially Costa. This guy rushed towards Chen Mo. With a playful and fierce expression on his face, he looked like an ugly monster with bared fangs, and looked more like a beast. He was too ugly. But Chen Mo was not afraid. He didn't give Costa a chance to get close. The first time Chen Mo received the ball, he passed the ball to the left front, and at the same time caught up with the football in one step. The moment he touched the ball, the pass assister is activated. A red pass route with a 100 threat rate suddenly appeared. This surprised Chen Mo. I didn't expect such a big threat opportunity now. But it can be judged from the perspective of God. It's normal. The bullfighting national team obviously wants to press high. For people are coming towards me, just to double team me and limit me from passing the ball forward. Forcing me to pass backwards. So the overall formation is too far forward, which leads to a gap behind the formation. Chen Mo decisively chooses to pass the ball. If there is a chance, try it decisively. The inner instep of the left foot is on the football. This is an obvious through ball. The football is like a flying bow and arrow. It pierces the overall formation of the bullfighting national team like a cold arrow. Mule. Speed up. The moment of passing the ball. Chen Mo yelled at Ronaldo, who was sprinting frantically in the front court. The two often practiced this tactic during training. I pass the ball to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo rushes forward frantically. As long as Chen Mo gave a reminder when passing the ball, Ronaldo would run and speed up, and penetrate behind the opponent. Just like now. Hearing Chen Mo yelling at him to speed up. He didn't even pause, let alone look back to observe, he just buried his head and accelerated. Now Ronaldo is at the end of his peak period. Although his speed has weakened a bit, his explosive power when he really accelerates is still top-notch. At the fastest speed, he rushed out from between Pique and Ramos and reached the backcourt of the Spanish formation. No-nos, he rushed out from between Pique and Ramos and past the back line of the bullfighting national team. Chen Mo's passes followed one after another. Like a precise budget. Ronaldo rushed out and the ball was in place. There was no need to adjust it. The ball just passed through Ronaldo's feet. The frequency rhythm was like a precise calculation, just like C0 dribbling the ball himself. Even though it was not the first time that Ronaldo received such a pass from Chen Mo, he still couldn't control himself inside when he touched the ball. This pass is really amazing. Chen Mo long pass. Break through the bullfighting national team. Backcourt. Ronaldo. Ronaldo got the ball and had a one-on-one chance. De Gea panicked. Just like Huang Jianqiang's excited shout. De Gea was indeed panicked. The game had just started. Teammate just pressed forward. He only had time to dart his eyes. Tang Ran came over with the ball. It was a one-on-one chance that was not offside at all. Who wouldn't panic? It was like the county magistrate was eating hot pot and singing, and suddenly the train overturned. Who wouldn't be dumbfounded? In a hurry. De Gea quickly adjusted his position, his eyes fixed on the football. Just when Ronaldo raised his right foot to shoot, De Gea quickly made a prediction and rushed out. But just as he rushed out, Ronaldo suddenly, after a pause, he landed with his right foot and shot with his left foot. His prediction became a joke. The moment the save landed on the grass, the football also hit the goal net with full force. He hadn't even landed completely on the grass, let alone got up to save the ball. The moment the goal was scored, the referee blew the whistle. He raised his hand and pointed to the center circle, indicating that the goal was valid. Beautiful. The ball went in. 8 seconds. The game started only 8 seconds. Fruit Teeth was scored by Chen Mo with a 60-meter straight pass, assisting Ronaldo to break the door of the bullfighting country. The fastest goal in the history of the World Cup. 1-0. Episode 112. The Beast Costa is going crazy. Old coach Santos is furious. Monk, let me kill him. Sew. After scoring the goal, Ronaldo was extremely excited. He ran towards the corner area. He jumped high and turned 360 degrees in the air, and landed domineeringly. The fans of Fruit Teeth behind him cooperated very well and made deafening cheers. The players of Fruit Teeth ran over to celebrate with him. Ronaldo hugged Chen Mo. Very excited. Your pass is great. It's really amazing. I don't even need to adjust, I can just shoot directly. Ronaldo laughed. Now he just felt that the World Cup Golden Boot was waving at him. The bullfighting country team. They were all a little confused at this moment. The sudden goal made them feel like they were dreaming. The referee blew the whistle to start the game. And then the goal was scored? Not only were they confused. The fans of bullfighting country were also confused. They didn't even have time to react, and booed when Ronaldo celebrated. They were still staring at the field in disbelief. Staring at the score on the big screen. Our great bullfighting dynasty was so easily defeated? Harrow pursed his lips in the coaching area. His face was even darker. The plot was different from what he had imagined. It was even a little out of his control. Come on. The game has just started. He saw that the players on the field were still a little confused, and he shouted at the field. The old coach Santos also looked indifferent. As if everything was under control. With his hands in his pockets. He did not celebrate the goal like the assistant coach and the players on the bench. He seemed to be completely unmoved by this goal. He stared at the field indifferently. His expression was still very serious. He seemed to be a little dissatisfied with the current goal. A true style of a famous coach. Of course. If his hands in his pockets were not shaking, it would be more convincing. Is it a goal? Isn't it a bit too fast? What happened just now? Why did the ball suddenly fall under Ronaldo's feet? The camera was aimed at him at this time. Old Sangtu also noticed the camera. He immediately calmed down and stopped his hands from shaking. He looked calm and kept pressing his hands on the field. He signaled the players not to be too happy and to keep their minds steady. The game has just started. As a result, this scene was spread all over the world, and all the eyes watching the game were there. Damn. The old coach is so steady. He is not excited at all for a goal. He looks so calm. It seems that he is completely depressed by a goal. The old coach has such a serious expression. He keeps pressing his palms down on the field, signaling the players to calm down. Why do I feel that he is unhappy? This old guy is definitely not easy to serve. He is still unhappy even after scoring a goal. The old coach has a high standard. Famous coaches are all like this, always calm and composed, as if everyone owes him a goal. After all, he is so old. He has seen everything. He is the coach of the European Cup champion. He has played against so many top European teams. This is just a small scene. Famous coach. Longzhu is such a coach. He is always strict, with high standards and high requirements. Come on. Longzhu can't coach anything. Before Jappy came to Longzhu, he was also a famous coach, steady, mature, and calm. But what about after coming to Longzhu? He is always anxious and almost has a heart attack after the celebration. The ball was in the hands of the bull country, and the opponent immediately started to pass and control. Pass and control non-stop, cut. The speed is very fast, and the rhythm is also very fast. The Fruit Teeth players who participated in the pressing became dogs. Even if the bull country team is not as strong as it was in its peak period. But their passing and control are still terrible. Especially after entering their passing and control rhythm, the control of the ball possession has even reached a terrifying level. Fruit Teeth continued to press and had no chance to score. They had to continue to invest more manpower. Chen Mo also quickly retreated to the middle. He signaled Moutinho and William Carvalho to press forward. He defended alone. The two fullbacks Cedric and Guerrero also moved forward. Chen Mo also wandered alone in the middle, always staring at Costa. At present, the bullfighting national team is in a state of luring the enemy deep. The goal just now made them dare not rush all to press forward, in case there is a large area of space in the backcourt. So only Costa was cruising in the front court. Little sheep. You will be eaten alive by me in a while. The beast is so terrible that it will definitely give you nightmares. I hope your mental state will not have any problems. Costa saw Chen Mo staring at him all the time. He started to spit trash talk. People who know Costa know. This guy was born in the slums of Samba and was still playing street football when he was 16 years old. He was a gangster all day long. Naturally, he would not have any quality to speak of. This guy is definitely a recognized bad guy. He has a foul mouth. He likes to spit trash talk and provoke when playing football, CHDB. He has a bad temper. He plays football and could you in a dirty way. He likes to foul a lot and is definitely one of the most famous bad guys. Now he has launched his trash talk skills against Chen Mo. He keeps using disgust to provoke. He even insults directly, with the purpose of using this to provoke Chen Mo's temper. To make Chen Mo lose his temper. If you can only kick the ball with your mouth, then you have done it, you are the king of kicking the ball with your mouth. Chen Mo retorted without any hesitation. You don't even dare to dribble the ball to confront me head-on, and you are a beast? Even kittens are braver than you. Ordinary people may not be able to deal with such people. They may even get angry because of the other party's trash talk. But Chen Mo knows very well how to deal with such guys. He is a gangster. What he fears most is losing face. What he hates most is that others look down on him. Just start from this aspect. The opponent will be immediately furious. How dare you look down on me? You are looking for death. As expected. Costa was anxious. He quickly retreated and raised his hand to David Silva, who was holding the ball. Damn it. Pass the ball to me. I'm going to teach that damn little lamb a lesson. He yelled at David Silva. David Silva frowned. Obviously he did not agree with Costa's conclusion that Chen Mo was just a little lamb. He personally experienced the Etihad tragedy. He was one of the Manchester City attacking group suppressed by Chen Mo alone. He knew Chen Mo was terrible. But Costa obviously didn't believe it, seeing the other party yelling for the ball. He wanted to remind him. In the end, he didn't say it. A short pass. The ball was passed to Costa's feet. He thought that if Costa experienced Chen Mo's terrible pressure personally, he would probably not continue to look down on Chen Mo. Costa turned around after receiving the ball. He was about to rush up and use his personal ability to forcefully break through Chen Mo and teach Chen Mo a lesson. But he didn't need to take the initiative. Chen Mo had already rushed to his side. At the moment when he turned around and dribbled the ball with his left foot, he suddenly took action. He stepped forward with his right foot and accurately caught the gap before Costa's right foot received the ball. He poked forward with his toes. The football changed direction directly, passed through Costa's crotch, and came behind him. Before Costa could react, Chen Mo started ahead of time and quickly rushed past Costa. He caught up with the football that passed through Costa's crotch. Beautiful. Chen Mo stretched out his foot accurately, seized the opportunity, and poked the ball through Costa's crotch, completing the steal. Huang Jianxiang cheered excitedly. He sighed, Chen Mo's steal and defense have really reached the level of art. Accurate, efficient and clean. He has already vaguely shown the intention of developing into a midfield master. You sneak attack. After the ball was intercepted, Costa finally reacted. He turned around and rushed towards Chen Mo, cursing loudly. An acceleration. Catch up with Chen Mo. He hit Chen Mo fiercely. But Chen Mo didn't take it at all. He quickly picked the ball. He picked the ball over Costa's head, followed by a sudden energy, and turned his body backwards quickly with his right foot as the axis. He once again performed a turning action like a compass drawing a circle. He avoided Costa neatly. Let Costa hit nothing. After stumbling several times, he almost fell on the grass. Negative emotion value from Costa, plus 369, Chen Mo turned around and raised his leg to catch the ball. Continued to dribble forward. With an unceremonious kick from behind, he quickly moved sideways and kicked forward to break through Busquets, who was sticking to him. He rushed into the middle of the penalty area. Ramos and Peak did not dare to be negligent and quickly closed the door in the penalty area. But at the moment when the two people finished blocking, Chen Mo fiercely knocked the ball horizontally, and his left foot remembered the outside of his foot quickly rubbed the bottom of the ball. The football jumped up. Like a scimitar was pulled out. It flew past Ramos's side. A 270-degree rainbow was drawn in the air. The ball was passed behind the two people who were closing the door. And behind them on the left side was Bifi, who inserted from the side. He quickly stepped forward, aimed at the ball, and made a rough shot. Drew. The ball went into the net again. De Gea was unable to make any saves. Because Chen Mo's pass just now was too confusing. Outside instep. When the ball flew past Ramos, he thought he was looking for Ronaldo and B. Silva, who were coming in from this side. So he quickly moved to the left side of the goal, ready to block Ronaldo and B. Silva's shots at any time. But who knew? The ball turned sharply in the air, drifted directly to him, and landed directly in front of the right side of the goal. And Bifi, who came out from nowhere, made a shot. He didn't even have time to move his body. He just watched the ball go into the goal. De Gea's negative emotion value from plus 736, beautiful. The ball went in. Chen Mo's ecstatic outside foot pass assisted Bifi to score. 2-0. In just 23 minutes, Fruit Teeth led by 2 goals. Before the game started, who could have thought that the game would be like this? The seemingly powerful bullfighting national team was vulnerable. The seemingly weaker Fruit Teeth scored 2 goals easily. This is only Fruit Teeth's second shot. The bullfighting national team hasn't even had a shot yet. Coaching area. Yero was now on the sidelines in a daze. Staring at the field with disbelief, the Fruit Teeth players began to celebrate again. He suddenly didn't understand. Why did the bullfighting national team he led get 2 goals so easily? It was clearly on paper. My team was stronger. It was clear that my team had a better ball possession rate. But it was impossible to form an effective attack, and even a foot shot didn't appear? What happened? Yero suddenly felt a little confused. The football was indeed under his control. The team was indeed in control of the ball. The opponent was lured to press forward, but as soon as he started to attack, he was easily defeated by the opponent. This made Yero very confused. The game started again. Costa was just full of anger. This time he did not pass the ball back, but started to charge with the ball directly. Chen Mo took the initiative to press forward and face Costa directly. The other Fruit Teeth teammates saw it. They immediately started to move forward. After this period of contact, they had no doubts about Chen Mo's ability to steal. One-on-one with the ball facing Chen Mo. That would be equivalent to losing the ball. No one can break through Chen Mo one-on-one. Even Messi can't do it. So they are very relieved. Both fullbacks moved forward to block the route that Costa could pass back. Limit Costa to form a connection and breakthrough with his teammates. Actively create opportunities for Costa and Chen Mo to have a one-on-one. Then wait for Chen Mo to steal the ball and start attacking. In fact, Costa didn't even think about cooperating with his teammates. He brought the ball to Chen Mo. With a fierce look and a fierce expression, he began to make several fake moves quickly. Chen Mo was as steady as a mountain. Costa's fake moves were not as confusing as Ronaldo's fake moves. Seeing Chen Mo remained as still as a mountain, Costa became more and more impatient, and even began to get a little irritable. He didn't observe his teammates to seek cooperation at all. Of course. Even if he wanted to, it would be impossible. He suddenly dribbled forward several times in a row, but was blocked by Chen Mo's quick movement. His temper gradually became irritable. Chen Mo was always very calm. Although Costa's fake moves were indeed fake, his forced breakthrough was not a big threat. But he had strong control of the ball. He never had a chance to steal the ball with one shot. So now Chen Mo is like a hunter waiting for his prey to enter the circle. Full of patience. At the same time, he was still thinking about how to give the opponent a flaw and set a trap to create a steal opportunity for himself. But at this moment, Costa was already overwhelmed by his irritability. He made a quick oxtail and chose to force a breakthrough on Chen Mo. That was when Chen Mo also caught his loophole. The moment the oxtail was swung out, Chen Mo quickly moved his body and raised his legs and feet directly to the path that the football must pass, and the football arrived as promised. He raised his foot to hook the ball and successfully took the ball. Negative emotion value from Costa, plus 1,444. At this time, Costa, who had forced a breakthrough, also followed. This guy saw that the football was intercepted, and suddenly became more irritable, and rushed up fiercely. He hit Chen Mo with his body regardless of anything. Nothing else to say. The beast's physical fitness is really strong. After being hit, Chen Mo had a slight shake, and he immediately used his right foot to dunk the ball, trying to turn around quickly and get rid of the beast. But at the moment of dunking, Costa grabbed his shoulder and slapped him in the face. He had predicted it in advance, and it was too late to dodge, so he could only try his best to turn his face to the side. But his eyes still went black. Then he felt a huge push coming from behind, and his body suddenly lost its center of gravity and fell heavily on the grass. Costa pushed Chen Mo to the ground roughly. Like a mad beast, his eyes were red and exuded a vicious aura. Like a thug, he wanted to step on Chen Mo's ankle, but Chen Mo predicted it in advance and quickly retracted his foot on the grass to avoid it. Costa stepped on nothing, but also hurt the football. He didn't care about Chen Mo and took the football straight to the goal. The old coach in the coaching area. He witnessed Chen Mo being fouled by Costa throughout the whole process. He was so anxious that he was terrified. He was even more furious for a while. His temper was ignited all of a sudden. He roared angrily at the field and gave Pepe a sky-high order. "Pepe, do him for me." Episode 113, The Death of Passing and Controlling, the bullfighting dynasty collapsed. Chen Mo is scheduled to be the assist king of the World Cup. Pepe, the central defender who was lagging behind, naturally saw Costa's foul on Chen Mo. A flash of cruelty flashed in his eyes. Chen Mo is his little brother? How could anyone bully him? He rushed towards Costa. At the moment of rushing up, he also heard the roar of the irritable old man. "Get him!" This time, Pepe rushed faster. Facing Costa with the ball, Pepe was so, without hesitation. Accelerated run-up. D. At this time, the referee blew the whistle. Obviously, it was for Costa's foul just now. But at the same time as the referee blew the whistle, Pepe had already made a flying tackle at the football under Costa's feet. He couldn't stop at all. The flying tackle was so fierce. Costa also saw Pepe rushing up. He was immediately panicked. He is indeed a famous villain in football. A nasty guy is a nasty guy. The truth of the world remains unchanged. The arrogant ones are afraid of the stupid ones, and the stupid ones are afraid of the desperate ones. Who is Pepe? The great De Jong and Pepe, the real bad guys in football. The representatives of Kung Fu football. The one who is definitely desperate. When he gets angry, he would rather give up his career than hurt you. Costa is also afraid of the weak and the strong. He is still afraid of Pepe. So he hesitated in his heart, and his feet were half a beat slower. When he wanted to continue to move, the flying tackle was close at hand. He didn't give him any chance to run away. Point. A very crisp sound. The flying tackle shoveled steadily on the football. The football was directly shoveled away. That's right. The flying tackle was not aimed at Costa. A malicious tackle is a very dangerous foul, and it will definitely be sent off with a red card. Old Pepe is aggressive. But old Pepe is not stupid. Flying tackle fouls are definitely not allowed. After all, the referee can't see it, but the referee can see it clearly. FFFLY. I couldn't stop the car after the flying tackle. But I immediately pulled my legs back. I didn't want to foul. But after pulling my legs back, the raised knee, due to inertia, hit the opponent's body and legs, which is inevitable. If it hits the ribs and breaks the ribs, then I definitely didn't mean it. If Costa gets injured, I will be very sorry and very sad. Old Pepe's mouth curled up a smile. The man hit Costa hard, and his knee hit Costa's arms heavily. Dex. The pig-killing wail spread throughout the stadium. Costa was lying on the grass, screaming from the impact. Pepe climbed up from the grass with an innocent look on his face, and saw the referee looking at him with a gloomy face. He immediately indicated that he had just pulled his legs back. And he had shoveled the ball. He had also destroyed the ball first. It was not a foul at all. I really didn't mean to foul. I just shoveled the ball, and I really couldn't control it. He kept spreading his hands to the referee. The referee also looked at the linesman, with a questioning look in his eyes. The linesman shook his head. Pepe was indeed suspected of actively committing a foul. But he did let the ball fly first and pulled his legs back. You said he committed a foul. It's not justifiable. At the same time, the video assistant referee, used for the first time in this World Cup, also gave feedback to the referee through the headset. Pepe's tackle was made before you blew the whistle. He destroyed the ball first. And he pulled his legs to protect the opponent, so it didn't constitute a foul. The referee heard this. That's why he didn't give Pepe a card. Instead, he quickly walked to Costa, who was lying on the grass and wailing, and gave him a yellow card. Now all the players of the bullfighting national team were instantly fed up. They all rushed to the referee. He just fouled Chen Mo. There was an elbow. The referee explained. There was no foul at all. Do you see Chen Mo? Does he look like he was fouled? Busquets pointed excitedly at Chen Mo, who got up. It was Pepe who fouled. He made a malicious flying tackle. He fouled Costa maliciously. Other bullfighting national team players pointed at Pepe and protested to the referee. Pepe looked innocent. You guys can say whatever you want, I didn't commit a foul. Chen Mo saw the scene and finally looked at Costa. That guy was still lying on the grass, but it seemed that no one from the bullfighting country players showed any concern for him. At this moment, Ramos, a violent tough guy, rushed up. He didn't care about anything and bumped into Chen Mo directly. What the hell are you doing? Chen Mo was hit and immediately became angry. Damn it. If I don't show my power, do you really think I'm a sick cat? Ramos rushed up viciously, you're just a rubbish who can only perform. You're talking about Busquets. Chen Mo was so unconvinced. I was just fouled, you didn't see it, and now you come to provoke me, do you want to fight? I'm afraid of you. Ramos rushed up in one step, and Chen Mo was not polite either, rushing up to fight with the other party. Fight. That is definitely impossible. However, at this moment, Ronaldo rushed up, pulled Chen Mo away, and blocked Chen Mo behind him. What do you want to do? Ronaldo glared at Ramos. Club teammate? It's the World Cup now, there are no club teammates. Fight? Come at me. Moutinho also rushed up quickly. The referee immediately ran over, scatter. Do you want to get a card? He warned directly in an extremely stern tone. But at this moment, there was a problem on the other side. Pique rushed towards Pepe, followed by Nacho, and pushed Pepe hard while Pepe didn't react. This made Pepe stagger backwards, and happened to fall into Costa's hands. Costa screamed again in pain. Maybe he was furious because of this, his adrenaline surged, and he climbed up all of a sudden. Rushed towards Pepe with a roar. He choked Pepe. You are looking for death. Costa yelled. This move of his frightened Pique and others. They grabbed Costa's face and pulled back Pepe's arm that Costa had choked. Pepe was choked. Can a monk stand this? His temper suddenly surged in his heart, and he was about to rush up to give Costa an electric cannon to let him know what a monk is. But Cedric quickly pulled him back. Del. A sharp whistle sounded. The referee rushed up quickly. He saw Costa choking just now. Without hesitation, he took out another yellow card and pointed it at Costa. 2 yellows turned into 1 red. As soon as the red gem card came out, Costa also calmed down. He hurriedly explained to the referee. The players of the bullfighting country also ran up to explain, and Iniesta was even more anxious to explain. But the red card has already been given, there is no way to take it back. The referee pointed to the sidelines, aiming at Costa, get off. Costa fouled. He pushed Chen Mo. Pepe made a flying tackle and knocked Costa down. The field is in chaos. Pepe's tackle is fine. But the gunpowder between the two sides was ignited, and the atmosphere became uncontrollable. The yellow card is fine. Huh? Ramos rushed up and hit Chen Mo. The two had a conflict. See, Ronaldo rushed up at this time and pulled back Chen Mo, who wanted to rush up to confront Ramos. Costa choked Pepe. 2 yellow cards turned into 1 red card. Costa was sent off. Looking at the chaos on the field, both He Wei and Huang Jianxiong were a little stunned. It was called one wave after another. Reversal and reversal. Costa's football is too dirty, if he can't get through, he will foul. If the ball is intercepted, he will be eyed. He deserves to be a job seeker. Chen Mo is also pretty good. He didn't touch Ramos at all. Looking at his posture, if Ronaldo hadn't stopped him, he might have fought with Ramos. It's still a monk. He was clearly going to commit a foul, but nothing happened. Monk, I can't stop. I really can't stop. The farce ended. The referee quickly controlled the situation. Ramos, who ran up to trouble Chen Mo, was given a yellow card. Chen Mo was also given a yellow card. Pepe, on the other hand, was fine. His last temper was held back by his teammates, and no foul was committed. Pique also received a yellow card for pushing Pepe. The situation was settled. Hierro on the sidelines could not control his emotions because Costa was sent off, and he lashed out at the 4th official. The 4th official gave continuous warnings. He was asked to return to the coaching area, but there was no result. Finally, the referee was called. He was given a yellow gem card by the referee, and then he calmed down. On the contrary, old coach Santos did not have any fluctuations. Instead, he ran back to the coaching bench and sat down. He calmed down his mood. He just got angry and asked Pepe to beat Costa, and he regretted it as soon as he said it. Fortunately, Pepe was smart and did not get a card. This made the old coach relieved. The game resumed. Costa, the main striker of the bullfighting team, was sent off. Now they are one man short. And they are 2 goals behind. Yera was forced to adjust the lineup, removed Nacho, chose to add offense, and replaced Morata. The first half of the game did not have many highlights. The old coach Santos felt that the score of 2-0 was not bad, so he signaled all the players to retreat. Until the end of the first half. Completely giving up the ball possession rate, the South Korean team continued to attack. But it was never effective. Just a few more shots. At the beginning of the second half, Santos began to change tactics. Seeing that the battle was decided, the bullfighting team was 1 man short. The old coach began to train his troops and practice tactics. The start was high-pressure pressing. Pressure the passing space of the bullfighting team. The 63rd minute of the game. Chen Mo saw the opportunity and intercepted the ball from Iniesta's feet. Then he immediately launched a long pass. A crescent-shaped pass accurately found B, who was advancing. The opponent did not stop the ball. He took advantage of the situation and kicked the ground with his left foot, passing through Alba's left window. He got the ball. He shot at the goal at a small angle. 3-0. Fruit Teeth took the lead again. Seeing another goal, old coach Santos came to the sidelines. Started to make substitutions. Replaced Cedric. Replaced with speed center forward Gonzalo Gages. Changed the formation to 352. Let Chen Mo retreat to the central midfielder position and Paul Bibi fell to the side. The formation is the same as Liverpool's, but it is not a high-pressure game, but a defensive counterattack. After that, Fruit Teeth began to retreat. No matter how the bullfighting national team passed and controlled the ball, they just didn't take the initiative to attack. He acted like he was not going to attack. Hiera was blushing. He was so angry that he wanted to kill someone. You had 1 more player than us and were leading by 3 goals, but you were playing defensive defense? Do you still have any shame? He could only yell at the players on the field, asking them to try to penetrate and attack. But obviously facing the tight defense of the Fruit Teeth team, the bullfighting national team had no chance to pass and penetrate. Instead, they were intercepted several times. Fruit Teeth made a quick counterattack. Fortunately, Ramos and De Gea performed very well. 0. Blocked the goals of Ronaldo and Gonzalo Gages. Otherwise, the score would have been widened again. The situation of the game is clear. The bullfighting national team is 1 man short, and the continuous attacks have not posed much threat. Only Iniesta's long-range shot was the most threatening, but it was saved by Patricio, who was in excellent form. The current ball possession rate of both sides. Fruit Teeth has 27% and the bullfighting national team has 70%. Continuous passing and controlling. Backcourt tampering. No points at all, crushing Fruit Teeth's ball possession rate, and it has no effect at all. Hiwei explained the various data of both sides. The bullfighting national team, which seemed to have mastered the entire situation, had only 4 threatening shots. Fruit Teeth had as many as 8 threatening shots. The bullfighting national team shot 18 times, but no goal. Fruit Teeth shot 10 times and scored 3 goals. The comparison of the data on both sides is very thought-provoking. Just like Hierro now. He heard the data reported by the assistant coach. He was stunned. He even began to doubt his life. His belief in passing and controlling, whoever has the ball possession rate wins the world, began to gradually collapse at this moment. Passing and controlling is not working? Mo. At this moment, there was a warm cheer in the stands. Only the side. Iniesta received the pass from Isco and was about to dribble forward and make a penetrating pass from the side. I broke into Morata in the Fruit Tooth formation. But at the moment of passing the ball, Chen Mo suddenly rushed up to fill the position. He suddenly raised his foot and fought against Nesta's pass. He intercepted the football from the air and quickly unloaded it to his feet at the first time. Then he rushed along the side with the ball and headed for the backcourt of the bullfighting national team. After Iniesta lost the ball, he hurriedly caught up with Chen Mo. He ran as fast as he could. But the distance between him and Chen Mo was getting farther and farther. Alba, who was also on the side, also accelerated madly after Chen Mo accelerated. But like Iniesta, he couldn't catch up with Chen Mo at all. Chen Mo killed all the way to the bottom line. A red cross route with a 96 threat rate appeared in front of him. He did not hesitate. He passed the ball with his right foot. He passed the ball into the penalty area. And in the penalty area of the bullfighting national team, a figure suddenly appeared and jumped high, facing the violent header from the football area limit. Chen Mo bursts along the wing, eating Iniesta and Alba alive with his speed. He killed all the way to the end line and made a cross. Ronaldo suddenly rushed out, jumped high and overpowered Ramos, and headed towards the football record Wolf. Beautiful. The ball went in. 4-0. Ronaldo didn't come twice. Chen Mo made 4 assists. Such a terrifying assist ability. If it continues, he will be the assist king of this World Cup. Beautiful cooperation. He Wei and Huang Jianxiong both cheered excitedly, celebrating the goal of Fruity Tooth. But Hierro on the sidelines. At this moment, life seems gloomy. 4-0. The score is extremely dazzling. Look at Iniesta and Alba, who are holding their knees with their hands and breathing heavily. They are old. Hierro just looked at them like this. There is more despair in his heart. As their golden generation grows old and retires. Passing and controlling are dead. The bullfighting dynasty collapsed. Episode 114, Tactical Master Old Sang 2. His worth increased by 60 million, becoming the world's #1, a great scholar once said. Some people are dead but still alive. Some people are alive but they are already dead. Just like the current bullfighting national team. The passing and controlling they insist on still exist, but in fact, passing and controlling are dead. The ball possession rate is very high. Fruit Teeth doesn't even have many opportunities to hold the ball. But once Fruit Teeth seizes the opportunity, it is the moment of stealing. A counterattack, like a mad dog pouncing on its food, is launched. It will always catch the bullfighting national team off guard at the first time. There is indeed part of the reason for playing one less player. But playing one less player cannot cover up all the problems. Useless pass. Backcourt pass. The football is indeed under control, but it is impossible to attack the opponent's goal. There is almost no way to attack forward. It looks vigorous. But in fact, it is an exquisite house with a gorgeous outer skin. As long as the flashy surface is pierced, the whole house will collapse in an instant. This is the terrible reality. After Hierro doubted his life, he began a crazy dying struggle. Make various substitutions. Replaced Iniesta with the faster Shenglaku. Replaced Alba. Added a midfielder to increase the midfield's ball possession advantage. The intention is very obvious. Wanted to use the control of the midfield to pressure Guazi. Used the pass control to press Guazi in the backcourt and further reduce Guazi's space. Old coach Santos discovered Hierro's idea. He immediately gestured to the field. Signal to press out. The game instantly became tense. Although it was only the first group match. The opponents behind Persia and Morocco were not too strong. But the bullfighting national team obviously regarded this game as a match between the top 16, the top 8, and the 4-draw Belgian alliance. This is Hierro's order. After a person's faith collapses, he will first despair, but then there will be a crazy struggle. All that he can bet on 50-70, all go out. Wanted to use the last madness, regardless of everything, to prove that his faith is right. The passing and controlling is not over. The bullfighting country team has been passing continuously, but they can't pass the threatening ball. This makes them even more impatient. On the bench, Iniesta looked at his teammates who were running wildly and obviously impatient on the field. Morata, who was at the front, was jumping and yelling at his teammates. But no one could pass the ball in. Even David Silva was still there. The penetration of short passes could not reach Morata's feet at all. Iniesta sighed heavily. He understood. The passing and controlling played by the bullfighting country now is more like a joke. The bullfighting country at its peak. But there are Fabregas, Villa, and Torres. The most important thing is their brained Xavi. Xavi retired. Villa and Fabregas were not recruited. The team lacks wingers who can dribble the ball, and even lacks people who can pass threatening balls forward. David Silva can pass. But he was completely restricted by Fruit Teeth on the wing. So it seems that the bull country's passing and control are still aggressive and in control of the situation. It has formed an absolutely terrifying pressure. but it lacks the final fatal pass. And because of the fear of losing the ball, they dare not make a long pass. Let the bull country's attack have no threat. It's over. Iniesta felt a heavy loss in his heart. Although it was just the first game of the group stage. But Iniesta knew that even if they made it to the top 16, this World Cup was over. This game foreshadowed their death. 5 minutes of overtime. During the overtime, Fruit Teeth got a chance to attack. Messi quickly inserted the ball from the side. He used his dribbling to blow up Busquets. He passed the ball into the penalty area of the bullfighting country team. Ramos, Pique, and Thiago, who retreated to the penalty area. The three of them jumped up quickly to participate in the header, and restricted Ronaldo and Gonzalo. Ronaldo was severely restricted and interfered by Pique and Ramos. As a result, Ronaldo failed to compete for the header. The football fell behind him along his head. Where was Gonzalo Guedes? He was stuck by Thiago and had no way to turn around. He could only jump up and compete for the header in a hurry. But he was panicking. Ronaldo was dragged and the possibility of support was cut off. He couldn't turn around. He couldn't head the ball directly. Beefy was restrained by David Silva, who retreated. B. Silva, who passed the ball, was sprinting towards this side, but Busquets was beside him. At this moment, Big Brother didn't know what to do. But at this moment, he suddenly changed direction and caught Isco off guard, and Chen Mo couldn't catch up. He reached the top of the penalty area. Alone. No one came to block him. Here. Chen Mo yelled at Gonzalo Guedes. The other party also saw him. Suddenly, his eyes lit up, as if he had found the main idea. Facing the football falling from the air, he just headbutt and hit the football towards Chen Mo. After landing, he immediately pulled back to restrain Thiago and pulled Chen Mo out of shooting space. The gun was set up. Missed a man. Missed a man in the midfield of the bullfighting national team. Chen Mo reached the top of the penalty area. He Wei shouted nervously. Huang Jianxiang stared at Chen Mo on the field. This ball is in range. Block it. That black-haired kid. Missed a man. Go defend and block that guy. Hierro, in the coaching area, also saw Chen Mo immediately. He was so anxious that he was incoherent and yelled at the field. Others saw Chen Mo. My heartbeat accelerated immediately, and I quickly changed direction and rushed towards Chen Mo. But it was too late. The football fell towards Chen Mo. System uses the skill of volley blast. Used successfully. The moment the system prompt sounded, Chen Mo has already started to act. Facing the football that did not fall in the air, he kicked it violently with a violent volley. BK. A dull bang. It was like an explosion. It exploded in the ears of everyone in the penalty area. In an instant, everyone looked towards the goal. Especially the players from the bullfighting country. They looked at the goal and De Gea with almost desperate eyes. They prayed with the most sincere heart. I hope De Gea can save the ball. De Gea dives. This is a save that carries the prayers of all the bullfighting country team and millions of fans. The reverse judgment is correct. Failed. The power and speed of the ball are too fast. De Gea did his best. His fingertips touched the ball, but it was of no use at all. I guess De Gea must have wanted his arm to grow another 5 centimeters at that moment. Pray for the ball to be slower. But the ball that hit the net told all of us. De Gea's prayers, the bullfighting country players, and the expectations of millions of fans were all shattered by the goal at this moment. The goal in the 93rd minute. The last goal in the extra time. 5-0. I thought it was a tough game for Guezi, but who could have imagined that it would end up like this? The arrogant bullfighting dynasty was shattered by Guezi. The passing and controlling football that once swept the world was trampled under the feet of Guezi. I think the current bullfighting team must be very confused. The tactical masters of football will also re-examine the passing and controlling system that the world is imitating because of this game. But this is only the first group match. Although the bullfighting team lost the game, it is not time for them to leave the World Cup yet. They can expect that it will be like the 2010 World Cup, where they lost the first group match but won the championship. We can expect such luck to come to them again. Congratulations to Guezi. Let us also wish the bullfighting team to get rid of the mood of defeat and go further on the road to the World Cup. Hiwei's emotional speech. With Chen Mo. The bullfighting country team bowed their heads and looked extremely lost. The cheering Fruit Teeth fans, the bullfighting country fans, who even cried. Those who didn't know thought that the bullfighting country was eliminated. The game resumed. But the bullfighting country players who had no fighting spirit could not cheer up at all. The last few minutes. They did not have any counterattacks. Everything ended in the passing. Deal. The referee blew the whistle to end the game. The cheers of the Fruit Teeth fans rang out again over the fished Olympic Stadium. The Fruit Teeth fans celebrated wildly. They didn't understand the problem of passing and controlling. To them, the bullfighting country team was still the bullfighting King Temple that once swept the world. It was still a much stronger opponent than them. Some fans were even pessimistic about this game before the game started. But the game was over. They used a big victory of 5-0 to trample the powerful enemy that they could not even look up at. The whole team was cheering with the fans. In the middle, the thank you ceremony again aroused greater enthusiasm. The old coach Santos came to Hierro very gracefully. He patted Hierro on the shoulder with an encouraging look. You should improve the existing tactical system. Don't stick to the rules. Players can't be exactly the same. They are not robots, they are all independent individuals. Different players need different tactics. The current tactical system is not suitable for the current bullfighting country players. You have to make changes. These words came out with great earnestness. Hierro looked at the old coach blankly. His eyes were red. He didn't expect it. When his belief in passing and controlling collapsed, it was this old coach who stood up and gave him hope. It was the opponent who told him. Passing and controlling is not dead. It needs to change and improve. Famous coach. This is a famous coach. Thank you. Hierro shook the old coach Santos' hand with tears in his eyes. He felt extremely guilty for his previous judgment of his teacher. A jerk? Can someone who can point out his passing and control problems be a jerk? I am the G jerk. Hierro was ashamed. But the old coach Santos pursed his lips and gave him an encouraging look. He was very satisfied with his success. Seeing Hierro like this, he knew that his pretentious words just now definitely achieved the effect of pretending. Didn't you see that the little brother was so angry that he burst into tears? As for the passing and control system? Go to hell. How the hell do I know about passing and control? It still has to be defensive counterattacks, or the old tactics when I was young. The current system. I don't understand. But what a great man we are. I don't understand, but I can learn. Just copy it. At the press conference after the game, Hierro said sadly that he was responsible for the loss of this game. He also brought out the old coach's words just now. Mr. Santos is right. Different players and tactics must also be changed, just like the current lineup, we can't play the previous passing and controlling style. So we need to change. I will try my best to change. Seeing Hierro's excited face, full of admiration for him, old Sangtu began to feel confused. Is the after effect of his pretense so strong? This guy actually took my nonsense as the truth? Damn. Could it be that I really guessed it was right? Old Sangtu suddenly felt a sense of crisis. Is this considered a disguised surrender to the enemy? A reporter immediately asked old Sangtu a question. Mr. Santos, do you agree that passing and controlling is dead? The old coach was panicking. How the hell do I know if passing and controlling is dead? I don't understand that stuff at all. But I have to pretend to be better, even if I cry. The passing and controlling in 2010 is dead. Because most of those players are gone. It is impossible to reproduce. Because those players are the reason why the passing and controlling system in 2010 was so strong. But the passing and controlling now is not dead. New players need to arrange passing and controlling that suits them. The times are constantly progressing. Any tactics cannot stick to the old ways, but must also be integrated into the tactics of the new era. The whole audience was silent. No one noticed it at first. But the old coach's words suddenly made them realize it. It seems that the passing and controlling system is really changing and improving. Even Guardiola, who created the passing and controlling, has integrated new things. The passing and controlling that originally did not have long passes is now constantly appearing in Manchester City. The whole stadium was silent, and old Santo was panicking. Did he get his boast exposed? Just when old Santo was frantically thinking about how to make up his mind, the whole stadium suddenly burst into applause. Hierro almost broke his hand. Finally. Post-match press conference. Old Santo didn't know how he got here? I just felt light and fluttery. But more of it was the guilty conscience of 0.9. I decided not to brag anymore. It's too easy to get into trouble. Tactical Master Santos, passing and controlling are not dead. Just no improvement, 5-0. Fruit Teeth beat the bullfighting national team, the old coach suppressed Hierro. It's not the team's strength that crushes. It's the tactical level that crushes. Defense counterattack. Quick pass and cut. Long pass and lob. High position pressing. The old coach used 4 different tactical systems in one game, can lead the not-so-strong Fruit Teeth to sweep across the entire Europa League. Santos is crucial, one game. The old coach Santos became a famous coach. The old coach directly grabbed the first place in the hot search. Even Chen Mo's assists and Ronaldo's double goal, no one paid attention. Everyone is discussing Santos. I think this old coach is seriously underestimated. But the head coaches, who watched the whole game, their brows were furrowed. Defending and counterattacking. High position pressing. Long pass from both wings. And the final fast pass and penetration. When they watched the game, they felt like looking in the mirror. Especially Mourinho, Klopp, Van Gaal, Tuchel. But soon, the heat was suppressed. Transfermarkt announced the latest player values. Among them, Chen Mo, Mbappe, and other new stars are on the list. Especially Chen Mo and Mbappe. Mbappe's value doubled to €170 million. Chen Mo's value directly increased by €60 million to €180 million. The world of football was shocked. Just one game. Chen Mo's net worth increased by €60 million. Directly stabilized the first place in the net worth list. Mbappe ranked second. When seeing this news, Chen Mo just felt that the current inflation is too severe. Mbappe was suppressed by Chen Mo again, and he was not convinced. The media shouted that the era of the new peerless twins has really come. Episode 115, The Hero Has Fallen. In the first match of the round of 16, Chen Mo, Ronaldo, you have the golden boot. Beautiful. The ball and the player passed. BR. The ball went in. Another assist from Chen Mo. See, Ronaldo scored the 4th goal of this World Cup. Another double goal. The second round of the group stage. In the match between Fruity Teeth and Morocco, Chen Mo made continuous breakthroughs. He passed the entire defense line of Morocco by himself and finally assisted Ronaldo. Ronaldo scored twice. 3-0. Completely crushed Morocco. This team from Africa, their golden generation has not yet fully emerged. That is, the group stage players. Fruity Teeth played without any pressure at all. Old coach Santos did not even have too many tactical arrangements. Kicked blindly. Morocco was completely crushed. There was no power to fight back at all. Chen Mo assisted 2 goals and scored 1 goal. Ronaldo scored twice. The 3-0 game was decided. Old coach Santos decisively called off the game. 2 players were replaced. There is no way. The Fruit Teeth team is counting on these 2 babies. If they get injured in this group match and cannot play in the next game, Santos really needs to find a corner where no one is and cry to death. Hashtag. When the players were substituted off the court, Chen Mo received a standing ovation from all the Fruit Teeth players. See, Ronaldo only got a little applause with him. This guy was a little unhappy. It's not that no one cheered his name. He was a little unhappy to be substituted off the court now, he felt that he could still score. See, Ronaldo. I am subbing now to protect you. The next games are very important, the top 16, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and even the finals. You can't get injured. Santos saw that Ronaldo was unhappy. I immediately ran over to Ronaldo to explain why he substituted him. I feel I can still get in. Kane of the England team has scored more goals than me. Ronaldo was still very unhappy. Second round of the group stage. England has finished the game. Kane is killing it all. Hat trick. The total number of goals has reached 5. See, Ronaldo's goal is the golden boot. Seeing that his goal number has been surpassed, how can he not be anxious? He was thinking about taking advantage of this game to score a few more goals. When the old coach heard this, 27 was relieved. He pointed at Chen Mo with a smile. We have Mo here. You can talk to Mo well. With him helping you, why are you afraid of not getting the golden boot? Just his passing skills. As long as you stand in the penalty area and put your head in a good position, he can hit the ball on your head. It's hard for you not to score. Huh? See, Ronaldo was stunned when he heard this. Then he reacted suddenly. Yes. I have the midfielder daddy here. As long as my daddy helps, Kane is nothing? The anger of being substituted just now disappeared instantly. Ronaldo walked into the bench with a smile and sat down next to Chen Mo. A flattering expression quickly appeared on his face. Mo. Think about it with your conscience, how has your brother treated you during this period? Ronaldo gave Chen Mo a flattering smile. Chen Mo was immediately happy. He immediately put on airs. He smacked his lips. I'm a little thirsty. Yes. There's water. I'll get it for you. Ronaldo stood up and immediately went to get 2 bottles of water for Chen Mo. 1 bottle of room temperature water and 1 bottle of ice water. Drink the room temperature one first after you come off the court, and drink the ice one later. He unscrewed the bottle cap for Chen Mo while saying this. He handed it to Chen Mo respectfully. Duh. Chen Mo nodded with a smile. Ronaldo. I'm here? Ronaldo immediately came up. It's not impossible to give you an assist. That's right. I'm willing to give you an assist, but you still don't want to call me Godfather. Chen Mo's joke was barely finished. Dad. Ronaldo spoke decisively. As long as you can assist me. Forget Godfather. Call me Dad. Call me Grandpa. Unspecified currency A, unspecified currency A, unspecified currency A. Quaresma, who was also sitting on the bench, was immediately amused and laughed. Ronaldo. I'll assist you too, or you can call me too. Ronaldo looked at Quaresma and immediately lost his flattery. Stay away. You? You don't deserve it. Without hesitation. No face at all. F***K. Quaresma was stunned. F***KU. Do you have to be so hypocritical? My outside instep is also very straight, so assisting is absolutely no problem. As a result, Luo looked at him seriously and said something that hurt his heart. Then can you start the game? Quaresma's face fell immediately. Your words are really hurtful. There was laughter on the bench. The second round of the group stage. 3 points in hand. So everyone was very relaxed and joked easily. By the way, let's talk about the next round against Persia. But there is another game in the second round of the group stage. The bullfighting national team played against Persia. At this moment, it has been completely anxious. The bench is even more nervous. The 2 sides are 1-1. The game is about to end. Although Hierro does have ideas to change the tactical system and accelerate other elements. But in a short time it is not possible to change the tactical system. It was impossible to do it. There was no time to change. There was no time for the players to adapt. Therefore, in the match against Persia, the original passing and controlling tactical system was still used. But who knew that after Persia scored a goal, they immediately played high-pressure defense. They quickly equalized the score. Then they immediately started to park the bus. The Persian coach gave Hierro a hard lesson. Let him know what the ultimate bus is. 640 position. The original 2 forwards were all replaced by defenders. Directly 6 central defenders and 4 defensive midfielders. Let the fans of the bullfighting national team who watched this game break the defense directly. They saw a silent show-off. Persia is not short of central defenders or defensive midfielders. Offensive may not work. Defensive? We are not afraid of anyone. We lost the first round of the group. But Persia won the first round of the group. If this game is a draw, even if they lose the next game against Fruit Teeth, they will get 4 points. But what about their bullfighting national team? This draw only gets 1 point, and if they beat Morocco in the next game, they will only get 4 points and need to compete with Persia for goal difference. If Fruit Teeth doesn't score many goals, or just 1 goal. With Persia's shameless bus parking, it is entirely possible. What about them? They have to score 7 goals against Morocco. To have a goal difference that exceeds Persia. The key is that this is still the case when Persia loses. If Persia parks the bus and sticks to a draw, then they will get 5 points. If Fruit Teeth is brave, they will play a draw and kill Joua and his bullfighting national team. Even if they kick Morocco to pieces and make him disappear from the world, they can't even think about advancing. So the bullfighting national team is really anxious now. They want to win this game and get a victory, so that they can take the initiative in the level. 9. Attack. Hierro shouted anxiously. The players of the bullfighting country team were already going crazy. All kinds of long-range shots were fired crazily. But they just couldn't break the turtle shell of Persia. Without Costa. The bullfighting country team lacked a hammer to smash the turtle shell, and there was really no way. Hierro was really betting everything. He changed 3 forwards in one breath, and attacked Persia fiercely. In the last stoppage time of the game, the bullfighting country team got a corner kick. The whole team rushed up. Even goalkeeper De Gea rushed into the penalty area of Persia, ready to fight hard with the last corner kick. The result: the corner kick was taken. It was headed out by the Persian defender. Persia was embarrassed to see the opponent's empty goal, and the midfielder ran out of the momentum of the forward. He ran all the way with the ball to the backcourt of the bullfighting country team. The whole bullfighting country team was completely crazy at this moment, running desperately towards the backcourt, trying to catch up with the opponent. But the opponent faced an empty goal. De Gea's running speed was not fast, and his legs flew away, but it was useless. The opponent made a lob shot. The empty goal was scored. The referee blew the whistle. He raised his hand and pointed to the center circle, indicating that the goal was valid. The ball went in. The last moment of the game. Persia scored a goal to seal the victory. 2-1. They turned the game around. There is less than a minute left in the game, and the Chinese team has no time. All the commentators from various countries exclaimed at this moment. Zhang Jun couldn't believe it. The bullfighting team lost the ball at the last moment. They have completely lost their hope of advancing. It's over. Their World Cup journey is over. Who could have thought? The bullfighting team, which was once so powerful and swept the world, is actually the first team to be eliminated in this World Cup. At this moment, the players, coaches, and fans of the bullfighting team have all shed tears. They all know. The bullfighting team is leaving. Veteran Iniesta looked at the sky above the court. I wonder what he is thinking at this moment. Recalling the days when he swept the world? Lifting the World Cup? Or reminiscing about his career? This is his last World Cup. It's also the last dance of his bullfighting team career. He will leave Barcelona. He will also retire from the bullfighting team completely after the World Cup. No one can imagine. The last dance of the bullfighting team career of this midfield master will actually start in this way. On the court, Iniesta put his hands on his hips. Hearing the referee blow the whistle to end the game, 2 lines of tears slid down involuntarily. It's over. Everything is over. He suddenly thought of what Wenger said when he announced his retirement. He is a remnant of the old era. The new era is coming, and there is no ship to carry his dreams. That's right. He is also a person of the old era. He once stepped on the highest peak and saw the most beautiful scenery. He had a perfect career. World Cup, European Cup, Confederations Cup, Champions League, European Super Cup, Club World Cup, League, Kings Cup, La Liga Super Cup. Almost all the championships. He won the Grand Slam. He has brilliant memories and achievements. But everything is over after all. His era has ended, and the new era has come, and it also swears that there is no place for him. The hero has ended. The god of descending the mountain. On the bench of fruit teeth, Chen Mo, Si Luo, and others who were watching the game at leisure all saw the bullfighting country game ended early at this moment. Lost. They were out. Everyone widened their eyes. Although they defeated the bullfighting team, they never thought that the opponent would be eliminated directly in the group stage. Persia and Morocco were not very strong opponents and could not be the opponents of the bullfighting team. But now they are really out. Live broadcast in hand. The camera is aimed at the lonely Iniesta. All of a sudden, everyone's mood became a little depressed. Everyone will grow old. They will all grow old. Even Ronaldo is now 33 years old. He is entering the last years of his career. So Ronaldo is in the heaviest mood at this moment. He seems to see his future from Iniesta. This is also my last World Cup. So I must go all out. Ronaldo is very serious and looks at several people. I ask you to go all out too. I beg you. Please join me and launch the last all-out attack of my career against that commanding height. As soon as these words came out, everyone on the bench was solemn for a moment, and their blood boiled instantly. Come on. You are still going all out for the last time in your career? You will still play in the next World Cup. Watching the star you like with your own eyes, he has reached the end of his days and the hero has ended. Chen Mo is also in a heavy mood. But when 400 heard the serious words of Ronaldo, he immediately lost his heavy mood. What he hated most was the guy who talked nonsense and encouraged others to do something. I'm already 33 years old. I'm already at the end of my career. Ronaldo looked at Chen Mo, saying that he was serious. But if Chen Mo wasn't a reborn person, or if he wasn't reborn before, he could still score 50 goals a season, and he would definitely believe it. Stop it. You can play until you're 40. Chen Mo pouted. The reason why Messi and Ronaldo are the two most powerful people is that they are so powerful. It is not just that they are strong and have monopolized an era, the key is that the two of them have been on standby for too long. One won the World Cup at the age of 36. The other led the team to play in the European Cup at the age of 38. You still have the nerve to make friends here and say that your career is at the end? Don't talk nonsense. Chen Mo hates people being Versailles the most. I will work hard. See, Ronaldo patted Chen Mo's shoulder heavily. He regarded Chen Mo's words just now as a way to retain himself. As an obsession that he didn't want to see his idol leave. 3. Chen Mo wanted to know what this guy was thinking. I would definitely give him 3 words. Shameless. The bullfighting national team was eliminated in the group stage. Everything in Chen Mo's memory was messed up. But fortunately, it didn't cause too much problem. Fruit Teeth locked in the group stage in advance. The last group match. Fruit Teeth is a question of competing for the first place or the second place. The initiative is completely in his own hands. Because from the game that ended early, we judged 2 opponents. The first place in the group stage had to play against the second place to advance to the next round. The old coach decisively chose to win the first place in the group. They could even meet a soft persimmon like Wigwa. How could the old coach give up such a good opportunity? Playing against Wigwa Fruit Teeth is equivalent to being sent to the quarterfinals. This must be won. In the end, Fruit Teeth defeated Persia 2-0. Won the game as the first place in the group. After the game, Chen Mo came to Ronaldo. I've already assisted you. If you don't help me win the golden boot, I'll G break up with you. Before Chen Mo could speak, Ronaldo started to blackmail him. Play against the little guy in the next game. You've got the golden boot. Chen Mo admitted it affirmatively. Although he was playing for Guigua, Chen Mo was still a dragon at heart, and playing against the little guy would make him excited. Buff, blessing. Chen Mo couldn't wait any longer. Ronaldo pinched his chin, thought for a while, and said, the Wa country is indeed not strong. But it's still a bit difficult to lock in the golden boot by playing against Wa country in one game. Chen Mo looked at him with disdain. He didn't have the confidence to play against the little guy, and you still want to win the golden boot? What if I can help you lock in the golden boot in the next game? I can afford a private jet. Ronaldo patted his chest domineeringly, but if you can't do it, then you have to assist me in every game. Deal.